Hi there, I'm Marcel and welcome to another painting tutorial. In this session we are going to paint onions in a kind of a wooden bowl. You can see on the right upper corner a reference photo of what approximately we are going to paint in this session. Now, as you can see, the onions on the right side and the bowl with the onions in it are sitting on this kind of a breadboard. Now, the idea is then that we're going to exchange that breadboard into a table. And that is going to demand of us to do some experimental painting here. And another point to make, very important point, is that the surface of this board is very smooth. Now, normally I'm used to paint on this kind of structure on this board, uh, but this board is going to be totally smooth, as you can already, I think, see in the video. So this smooth surface, what is that going to do to our technique? Now, usually we are doing a layer of approximately 2-3 times. But since we're now painting on a smooth surface, the smooth surface has the tendency to be more transparent to your layers in a way. So this means that instead of 2-3 layers, we will sure have to do at least 3 or 4 layers. So roughly that means the first layer is going to give some value and color. The second layer will be more opaque and will be give a small definition to it, whereas the third and a possible fourth layer will be based on details by means of glazing or overpainting. Now I'm going to prepare my first layer colors, and I will start as usual with the background, which will give us a good view of what we are painting in the foreground. So I partially finished the first layer. And what I'm now going to do is start with the second layer on that onion in the bowl. Because sometimes it is good to have a vision of how approximately a painting is going to look like. So I'll focus that reference on that onion. So in general, that onion in the bowl will be ahead of time finished. So the first layer is finished. And as you can see, it's roughly the first building blocks. And I can tell you with this kind of smooth surface, it's almost impossible to, at least for me, to make those exact details. But that is not the goal of the first layer. The first layer is like uh, the first building blocks. So, as I mentioned before, we have to make some decisions now of how to paint that table. So, yeah, we have some choices here, and mostly that is based on some experimenting what would fit into this atmosphere. Obviously, it should fit in the atmosphere without off balancing the whole painting. And that takes some experimental. So I'm going to try first to make the table a bit similar to the bowl. And let's see how far that is going to get me. Now, I made the first impression from the table, and as you can see, that tryout will not work. So if we take again a look at the reference picture, I think that the values and the hue should be based on the existing breadboard, and from there we have to make up an imaginary table. And as you can see, sometimes experimenting with the with things, it's okay to do. You have the freedom to overpaint this later as necessary. So learn as you go. So we let this dry, and then we overpaint that again. So we will just start the second layer. Now, like I said before, it is sometimes good to have one object of your paintings ahead of time finished. And that object will be a reference of how that balance should look like. It is not really a necessity to do this, but yeah, I prefer to have some objects ahead of time finished in some paintings. It's yeah, it's the way I paint actually. Now, let's analyze that table a little bit. As you can see on the picture, you see that the table has some kind of characteristics. Some colors are more red, and some colors are has a less intensity of that same color. Now, based on those colors, same hue, we are going to make our imaginary table. And that imaginary table you can inspire yourself by um, going to some old antique shops, and this time I had this antique shop close to where I live, and I just imagine a table over there. So um, I put it in my memory, and yeah, let's see how far I can come with this. So I laid the basis for the table. Obviously, this is considered kind of a second layer, and later on this table I'm gonna glaze in the details. So from here, let's follow up on that and do the final layer in glazing and overpainting. painting is finished, and overall, I think it worked out okay. My opinion about the table, yeah, it's pretty nice, I must say. So all in all, it's a pretty nice painting. And as I always say, as long as you are happy with your own painting, then your painting is finished. So I hope you like this tutorial, and I see you on the next one.